Alrighty. MaNa is ready. YoungYakov is ready. A single best of 5. The winner gets $100. The loser gets 25. It's what we call the co-main event of the evening. Fun series, obviously. Two guys that I like a lot, that we have invited quite a few times for all the right reasons. They're both still very good. I don't know what to expect tonight. I legitimately find it very tough to predict this. It seems like you guys were favoring MaNa. Now it's closer. Still a lot of time to predict. For the final series, by the way, in the prediction game, I'll give a third option where people can donate points to charity. So an option that can't win, but just to get more points on the line. So you guys have something to win. Makes people excited. I'm ready. The nerds are ready. Indy is ready. Let's do it. What is fun fact number 2, by the way, Pi? Is it worth reading? Rainer said he is not reading all of that. It's a fun fact. Fun fact about dogs tilting their head. I'm a fan. Damn it, I didn't take a picture of Igor. I have to take a picture. So you guys know what I'm yapping about. Anyway, Abyssal Reef. Opening map of our third best of 5 of the night.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight!
In the top left side of Abyssal Reef, we are looking at the main base of our Polish Protoss, still representing Team Liquid. After all these years, he's not just the player, he's the manager. It's MaNa. In the bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of the Russian Protoss. He's an up-and-comer. He has been for a little while. And for kids like him, I do really hope that we have a few more big events to look forward to, because I think he's so close to actually qualifying for that and showing what he's made of at offline events. It is YoungYakov. Rainer says that he can predict what MaNa is going to do. I would love to hear it, mate. Go ahead and be the Twitch chat commentator that I always felt like I needed on my side. Rainer says Archon drop all 3 games. So, but we're talking the Christiana, right? We're talking Oracle into Archon drop. Alright. So according to Rainer, it's going to be Oracles into Archon drop every single game. What I like about YoungYakov, guys, is that he was a Zerg a long time ago that was definitely on the aggressive spectrum, but not always like all in, not Bly crazy or anything, but definitely aggressive. But at one point, he just kind of made a full 180, and he's like, looking at Jonah, enjoying the late game, enjoying quick hives, lurkers, vipers. I actually think he's damn good at it. Compared to a lot of other Zergs that were at that level, I really think YoungYakov is a damn solid hive player. And he got some big wins on the board early on in his career with Nidus, Ling, Queen all in, that kind of stuff. Ling, Bane all in, he did it quite often. I'm a big fan of his hive play, and I hope that we get to see some of it. More time has gone by. What are you guys voting for? Still mostly in favor of MaNa. I don't know. I guess MaNa is a safer prediction. Protoss is pretty strong, but I think it has shifted a little bit in this matchup on where certain races are strong. I legit, I'm not hyping it up because it's a series that we're casting and watching tonight. I find this one very tough to predict. Nothing would really surprise me, other than maybe like a YoungYakov 3-0. I think that's the only outcome that would really surprise me. 3-1 Yakov, I believe is possible. 3-2 Yakov would be awesome. 3-2 MaNa makes sense. 3-1 MaNa, sure, impressive. 3-0 MaNa, I would find surprising, but I guess it's not impossible. I think the only thing I'm really not expecting is YoungYakov to win 3-0. But the other 5 options, I think it's all pretty viable. Are Zergs winning any games if the mothership gets out? Cham won 3 games in a row against Goblin, and Goblin got the mothership out. I know this is a week without Cham, guys, but I figured we can't have Cham every week. I got a DM, by the way, of Cham. Cham saying that, I watched the VOD and you really don't have to send out Hero Marine, man. Like, you can send out somebody else. It doesn't have to be Gabe. I was kind of joking. I wasn't going to send out Gabe. But Chem lost sleep over the idea of me sending out Gabe to stop his win streak. I won't do that now. I don't know who we're going to send out next against Chem, but it doesn't have to be Gabe. Zerglings of Yakov show up and kill a probe. It's not much, but it's honest work. Raynor, his prediction fell flat on its face. 4 minutes and 10 seconds into the game. Being a commentator ain't that easy, eh, Raynor? It is a single Oracle, guys, into Resonating Glaive Adept. Honestly, Abyssal is a really big map. It takes a little while before Adepts make it to the other side of the map. It's maybe one of these builds where it doesn't make a lot of sense, and because it doesn't make any sense, I guess MaNa hopes that Yakov won't be ready, but Roach 1 is going down pretty early. I feel like YoungYakov should be fine here. Ling is gonna activate the stasis trap. Very clean defense. Tiny pool. Takes care of the stasis trap. Immediately back to mining. So far, I think the young man from Russia is looking pretty good here. Does end up losing 2 drones there to the Oracle. That's a tiny beauty error. We'll see Raynor lose 2 drones later tonight as well. Against the Banshee and a couple of Hellions. It happens to the best of us, guys. Even to the big boys. How do we feel about tomorrow, Raynor? Do you play 1 series tomorrow or 2 series? Because I know that Masters Coliseum is split over 2 days. So there's 3 best of 3s on the Saturday morning. 3 best of 3s on the Sunday morning. You play 2 tomorrow? No party tonight. You gotta stay at home. Well, Allison says you only play 1 tomorrow. Oracle gets sniped immediately, by the way, guys, by the Queen. Queen Transfuse is good. 1 Queen will fall. We've got 11 roaches in production. It's important for YoungYakov that he keeps roaches in every single base. I think the Adepts in the main are the ones that have most potential, but I don't think MaNa's gonna get a whole lot here, guys. I think it's gonna end up at like 4 or 5 drones max. And that is not why we make an Oracle. That's not why we make this many Adepts. It's actually only 2. I still think he'll get 5. Make it 4. He might even get 6. Maybe 7. 7 would honestly feel like the jackpot here. He got 7. I still like it for YoungYakov. I think he's totally fine. Velamu? I have not seen Velamu in a while. There was a small period. I mean, it's so hard to keep track of times. Ever since the Corona era, everything has blended together. But ooh, nice double block. Evo Chamber and a Spore Crawler, but the Adepts still get in, get a couple drones. I think there was a small period like 3 years ago where Velmu randomly played 200-300 games, but after that he went away again. You beat Velmu, Alex? That's actually kind of impressive, because he's still good. There was a period where Velmu was legitimately like a top 8 foreign Protoss, maybe top 5 even in his glory days. Yeah, it's really fun that he's playing. I like Velmu. Nice guy. I'm gonna get some Swarmos action over here, guys. Are we gonna get a little bit of Swarmos action? I see an Infestation Pit finish up, and I see a Nidus Network going online. And we already have +1 missile attacks finishing up. To me, this screams Swarmos. I'll wave to Maples, who says he's got no sound. We love Mape. Mape deserves another shot too. So far, not I think the game that MaNa had in mind, guys. The Oracle dying so quickly without getting a whole lot done. And he's got 12 drones, but he lost 16 Adepts with Resonating Glaive. And now he's going to have to deal with a bunch of Locusts. The man will not have Storm. The man will not have any Archons. Doesn't have Colossus. I mean, I know that if this is me right now, I am Omega dead. But the good news is that MaNa is not Roddy. He's a whole lot better. And a whole lot more accomplished. And perhaps he can turn this into something. But we're gonna have to play incredibly well from here on out. Stalkers are putting in a lot of shots on this hatchery. Actually casually killed the hatchery. That part is good, but the Nidus is about to come online in the main base. It is online in the main base. Say goodbye to a couple of your Stalkers. Say goodbye to a lot of your probes. And probably say goodbye to your Nexus. And perhaps say goodbye to your hopes and dreams of winning game number 1. MaNa is going for an interesting approach here, where he's like, if I never go home, it's kind of like not happening. I'm just attacking with my Stalkers on the other side of the map, baby. I'm killing the 4th base. I'm getting on top of a Queen. We are doing Protoss things, but this does not end well. Hero Marine told us a long time ago that SCVs beat Stalkers. And if SCVs beat Stalkers, I can guarantee you that 44 Roaches on creep and Queens absolutely beat Stalkers. MaNa's kind of toasted here in game 1. That Nidus network are coming online. I think it's just the end immediately. This is a dead third base, probably a dead robo, a dead cannon, and dead battery. Everything's dead. Okay, somehow we've decided to go for the assimilator. I will be honest, that is not my top priority, but it doesn't matter because YoungYakov takes the 1-0 lead. Well, looked good, right? Just very clean defense against the Oracle, clean against the Adepts. Lost a couple drones in the end, but I think that's always going to happen. If Adepts sacrifice themselves, they'll obviously get something. But if you kill 16 Adepts and you lose only 12 workers, you're going to be more than happy with that. SW Pro says, I just want to go on the record. I've had the worst performance ever. I know these are all excuses, but I'm sick. And with a Neo mouse. And I had the worst jitters ever. With that performance, if I was Japanese, you could have expected Harak. I don't know what that means. But those sound like a couple of excuses made, but don't worry. You really don't. There's no need to ever explain yourself. I will never be upset or angry at somebody. Oh, Jesus. Well, let's not joke about that. But I never care if people play bad or if they feel like they play a lot worse. The only thing I ever care about is that people are nice to each other and that they show up on time. That's all I care about. And I know obviously it sucks for you because you're excited and you want to do your best. And I did mention that I'm sure there were some nerfs. There's no need, mate. That's a competition. It is rough. Obviously, Wingend is very happy. He's on cloud 9, and for you, it sucks. But hey, there will always be a next time. If you are a sweet man on the ladder and you behave well and you treat the fellow gamers with love and respect, there will always be another chance.
Round 2, fight!
Bottom left side of ley lines, we are looking at the main base of the Russian Zerg, taking the 1-0 lead. And look what we got over here. I love it. This is YoungYakov. I call him YoungYakov just because I think it sounds cool. I don't think he minds, by the way. In the top right side, it is the veteran. He is down 0-1. The favorite, according to Twitch chat, representing Team Liquid. Still, after all these years, will it be that Archon drop that Rainer was talking about? It's a Liquid's MaNa. No, he does have a probe here. That hatch, can the hatch go down? With the second probe, it might become harder. It might become harder to get a hatchery. Now, drones obviously do regenerate some health over time. One hatchery is already down on the other side of the map. So maybe we will abort this mission. Not totally giving up on it yet though. I do really hate dealing with this kind of stuff if I'm on Protoss. I'll be that honest. I find it annoying. At this point he doesn't even have money for a hatchery, so he's just trying to annoy MaNa. And if I was the Protoss here, I'd be annoyed. But chin up, SW Pro, mate. I know that you probably expected more, but it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. And as Drake said once upon a time, as long as the outcome is income, it's all good. And technically it is. You still got 15 buckies for playing. If I would have had 15 bucks for every 3 games of Starcraft I ever lost, I would have had a Lambo in front of my door. So, it's not all bad, mate. Because I've done a lot of losing in this game. A lot. Well, I had a couple nice cars. I would have a Lambo in front of my house and I would still have enough left over to buy a Rainer or a Mustang. So, it's not all bad. If this was Diamond, MaNa would go 5-gauge robo on 1 gas. That's something that I would have done as well, Legoland. The other day I played a game on stream and I got hatch blocked, and then the other guy went hatch and another hatch. So then I went, and then he also, I think, I don't know what happened, but basically I ended up 5-gating on 1 base. And it worked. Yes, it was low MMR, but still, one hell of a game. YoungYakov is going to go up to 3 bases. Alex is wondering if this is a wall. Yeah, absolutely a wall. 100%. It's a beautiful wall even. This is the kind of wall where you can safely go for the double coverage. Like you can go Zealot here, Adept here, and then even if the Zealot dies to Banelings, the splash doesn't connect with your Adept. This is a perfect wall. It may not look pretty, but it gets the job done. Perfect. 10 out of 10. Would absolutely copy. MaNa here's adapts finish up into the main base. He will be looking for some drones. Zergling speed is about to finish up though, and that may actually allow the Russian Zerg to kill one of these adapts. It's close. He doesn't get it. Might still get it though if he just chases them down. By the way, shout out to Erdbeer Gnome for the 53 months. Happy days, matey. Obviously, Merry Christmas to each and every single one of you. Sometimes I forget, but the merriest of Christmas if you're celebrating. And if not, I still hope you have a great time at the end of the year. I always kind of like this period. I guess I'm a sucker, but to me it feels special, enjoyable. Another year in the books. I feel like we've done it. I think we can all be a little bit proud of making it through every single year, one way or the other. If you guys invested into the Hawk Tua coin, we are getting a refund. I don't think there are too many people in this channel, Rainer, that went ham on the Hawk Tua coin. But perhaps you just made one person out there very happy. What is the Hawk Tua coin? I'm sure you're familiar with the Hawk Tua lady, Haley Welsh. She also has a podcast called the Talk Tua podcast. And she launched her own crypto coin, and I think 3 hours after it went public, it lost like 98% of the value. So some of her fans lost a lot of money. And I believe then she's been gone in action. She's been MIA for 2 weeks. And I guess Rainer has updates. When are we gonna get the Ruddy coin? I never started with it. There was a small time that a lot of even Starcraft 2 streamers had their own coin. I think you guys remember that. I forgot the company that was behind it, but I know one of my friends worked for it, and I kind of feel like he needed a little victory, and he really wanted to get me on board. And I wasn't feeling it, but I kind of thought about it because I wanted to do it for him. And then at the last second, I thought, I was like, I'm sorry, man. Like, this doesn't feel right to me. I'm not. I don't have a problem with crypto, but the Roddy coin just sounds stupid. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not the guy. I'm gonna pass. And then a couple months later, it turned out that that all went down south real quick. And I'm very happy that I never got involved. I forgot that there was a big company behind it. Damn it, what was it called? What was it? Ah! Okay, I don't know. Can't think of it, but... Would you pump and dump us? No. Never mind. Unless I could finally get that Lambo. Then maybe the Roddy coin would just disappear overnight. Roaches are gonna deal with Zealots and Archons in the main base. This is that Archon drop that Rainer was talking about. But as long as we can keep the Queen safe, so far I kinda think that YoungYakov is dealing with this alrighty. I don't hate it. Obviously been a bit of a weird game with that drone that morphed into the extractor for a little while. I think the timing's overall a bit off, but MaNa economically in a strong position right now. But YoungYakov does keep all 4 bases alive, and I think that's the most important part. That is a solid stasis trap on the side of MaNa. Give or take 8 drones stuck. I hear an Oracle activate Pulse of Beam somewhere else. Over here in the 4th base. I'm actually very annoyed right now because I'm trying to think of the coin that was behind all the streamer coins. And it wasn't just the Starcraft thing. A lot of other influencers and esports people had their own coin. And then the whole idea was just that instead of PayPal donations, people would give you donations of your own coin. And then it would go up together. I'm glad I didn't get involved. And let's just say that nobody in the end went up together. Double Robo on the side of MaNa. And a Storm finished up. 16 Roaches, 6 Queens, and 8 Swarm Hosts. Once more, Swarm Host Nidus. Obviously this game is not looking as hot for Yakov as the previous one. The previous one, like, he had great defense against the Oracle, great defense against the Adepts, and overall the world was his oyster. This game, you guys can see, obviously the losses are a lot more severe. 12 roaches. Oh, he does maybe grab 2 immortals here. Can the Warp Prism save the immortals? The answer is yes for one, yes for both. They did take a lot of damage, so not a total disaster on the side of Yakov. But obviously sad for him that he didn't get it. Eats a big fat storm. The queens are kind of left by themselves. The queens cannot fight this. Oracle dropping another stasis trap at the triangle. We're going to need those locusts, guys. The locusts need to show up real quick. If YoungYakov wants to save the 4th base, storm on the locust is kind of cute. Honestly, pretty good. Yeah, that's actually very good on the side of MaNa. I was not totally certain how that's going to work out. Can Yakov snipe the prism? Because he's got Hydras now. He's got 5 of them. May not seem much, but if 5 Hydras get in range of the prism, it could die. So far, they've only killed the Oracle. That's not good enough. What's happening in the corner of the main is an Overseer. MaNa needs to be careful. Like, it's going very good for MaNa, guys, but it almost saved your MaNa right now, mate. Just chill. Go home. Go home. Why are we so deep on creep? Is it okay? Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay for MaNa. I think it's crazy. This is one of these moments where I think it's unnecessary. It is unnecessary to be here. We should have been happy with what we had. Oh, amigo. I mean, he might still be okay in this game, but it's safe to say that I was right about that one, guys. He should have gone home. Loses 2 more immortals. That's so silly, right? You're a 4-base Protoss. You've got Storm. You've got double Robo. You're playing against Locust. You've killed the 4th base of the Zerg. Just go home. There is no need to stay there. Now MaNa is down 50 army supply. He might still be fine because he's 4-base, double Robo. He's got static defenses. He can use energy recharge, but this game was like 98% over on the side of MaNa, and now it's obviously a tiny bit scary, but I think he's alright. But every second that goes by, I want to say, is a great one for MaNa, especially if it drops storms like that. Now, there are a whole bunch of locusts flying into the natural. Seems like they didn't drop the best spot to land. They will get a few workers, they'll get an immortal. They won't get the Robo. It's close, but okay, I think MaNa is okay-ish. Turning into a fun game, though. I mean, this was silly, right? That deep on creep, 4 bases against 3. You know you're playing against Swarm Host. You know a wave of locusts is about to show up. Like, that was not needed. One of the Archons gets picked off by Roaches and Hydras. This time, MaNa is going to respect the Nidus that's going up in his main. Wipes in a few zealots, takes care of it. Okay, Locusts still make it out. This is actually very annoying now for MaNa. He's doing really good with this army. But MaNa needs to be a tiny bit careful, because I'm afraid that this time it is really going to hurt to have this Locust in his main. He's got zealots getting on top of the 3rd, though. He's got an army killing the 4th. It is bananas between these 2 gamers. I want to say, I think MaNa is still totally fine, but he needs to be careful, because if the Swarmos come home and Locusts surround this army, then you're no longer fine. Hello, Slowly. Well, it's gloves are rough kind of video gaming. 9 Swarmos, only 4 Roaches, 20 Zerglings, 50 Hydras. I mean, it kind of just feels the Zerg army is not good enough. At this point, I would say the Zerg army is just not good enough, unless the Locusts get the Dream engagement, get the Dream surround, and MaNa messes up. Then there is a world, but there shouldn't be a world here for YoungYakov. Ooh, that's not a bad land on the Locust, to be honest. Gets a couple of High Templars quickly. I think one of the Archons died as well. No, they actually got saved. Got 7 workers. That's good enough on the side of MaNa, as long as he is careful. Now the Immortals are going to be a bit exposed. YoungYakov, will he go for that Prism? No. Now saving those Archons, by the way, earlier is massive. Dropping them near the batteries. They come back full HP. And the Zealot run-bys have been a non-stop. That's a great gameplay, or a great game style against the Swarmo style. Showtime is one player that I've always looked at that is so incredibly good in staying active with the main army and then having non-stop Zealot run-bys. The last thing you ever want to do as a Zerg when you're playing Swarmos is having to go home to deal with Zealots. That's not what you're looking for. You want to be in the face of the Protoss on the other side of the map, wave after wave. MaNa has done a lot of things right. He has made this game harder on himself than it should have been. I think at this point he's done enough things right that this game should go his way. He's getting on top of the Hydras. Damn, Hydras are melting. For once, we don't have to talk about how good Hydras are. Even though I think we all know how good Hydras are. But this is not the fight for the Hydra. GG gets skull. And for the first time tonight, we're all tied up after 2 games. That normally shouldn't take that long. But for the first time tonight, we're all tied up. Kadirian Amulet was peak gameplay. Well, we've got a very soft version of Kadirian Amulet back right now. You warp in a High Templar, you use energy recharge, bam bam, storm's ready. It's obviously not quite the same as warping in 5 High Templars and storming the entire army into oblivion, but it is it's like 10% of what we used to have. The warp-in was so quick. Yeah, there was no such thing as slow warp-ins for the longest time. For the first 7 years of casting Legacy of the Void, I would explain the difference between fast warp-ins and slow warp-ins. And now I do it like once in a while. And then whenever I do it, there's always a chatter. It's like, there are 2 kinds of warp-ins? I never knew. And you know, obviously that's silly to the people that watch Starcraft all the time. But not everybody has time to watch, you know, many hours of Starcraft or is a great player. Sometimes explaining some of these very basic things is worth it. I think doing it every single game is not worth it, because then the commentary just becomes very boring and repetitive. Once in a while, I think it's fine to go over some of the absolute basic things.
Round 3. Fight!
I didn't know that, Jumi. I did not know that a High Templar and a Dark Templar could morph into an Archon. And somebody told me that. I thought that was a joke. I thought you guys were memeing, but it was actually real. In the bottom right side of a neon violet square, we are looking at the main base of the Russian Zerg. Has played Roaches, Hydras and Swarmhost in both games so far. It's YoungYakov. 14 years of playing Protoss. I just don't find myself in situations very often where I've got a Dark Shrine, a Templar Archives, and then somehow an uneven amount of High Templars, and morph it into an Archon where I really need an Archon. But last game we tried and it didn't work. This time we try and it does work. YoungYakov gets the hatch block off on the other side of the map. Top left side, a neon violet square. A map that is a proper blast from the past, or blast from the past, as Pig would say. It is a Liquid's MaNa. Also a man who is a blast from the past. He doesn't pull probes. He goes for the double gate defense. 14 years of Protoss of Roddy not going Storm. I was a Storm enjoyer. In the Kadirian Amulet days, I was a Storm enjoyer. You guys, if you next time you see Ben streaming demo, ask him about my Storms versus Merts, and I'm sure that Ben will remember. My glory days at Shakura's Plateau, storming mineral lines. I really was a gamer. There was no F2. I was a proper gamer. But then F2 got introduced, I fell in love with the Phoenix, and I never looked back. That's something I actually didn't know either. X-Visic Cutex. I have no idea how to pronounce your name, amigo. But I was casting a tournament once, and I have no idea which tournament this was anymore. But maybe it was BlizzCon or IM, it doesn't matter. And I was like, man, I felt like this guy was really good. I want to see what the Team Liquid forums have to say about it. So I opened Team Liquid. And the first 3 comments I read is like, what the fuck? Does Roddy not know it's called Shadow Strike instead of Shadow Strike? I literally can't listen to this. And I was like, okay, that's really dramatic. It can't be that bad. But noted, I guess. I legitimately didn't know. So people are very fired up. I was like, Shadow Strike is apparently what it is. Because YoungYakov is going for a bizarre build here. Like going for the head. Oh, can he get the creep tumor up? Can he get it? Can he kill the zealot? Oh my god, that was close. But he is going to get the second zealot. But now we've got 2 adepts on top of a gold-based mineral, and there is nothing to defend these drones. Nothing at all. Obviously, Zergling speed is not quite done yet. It does seem like the Zealots have died at home, and there will be energy for a new creep tumor soon. And if this creep tumor goes up, I mean, MaNa's gonna hate life. But obviously MaNa knows that the creep tumor is important. He's also still microing his adepts on the other side of the map. In the end, decides to recall. I think he'll save both of them. Yes, he will. He's gonna lose one of the adepts in the natural, though. That's kind of annoying. Alright. How are we gonna poop out a creep tumor without MaNa seeing it? Oh. MaNa lost vision. MaNa lost vision. No. No. You're gonna have to let it finish. Kill the tumor. I know he's got an Oracle soon on the way. Oh my god, it finished off. That's kind of bad, no? Oh, that's a lot of Zerglings hatching. Oracle's not quite here yet. First adept falls, and I think the second adept is actually going to fall as well. More Zerglings are coming in. I really hope for MaNa that energy recharge is absolutely goated. Oh my god, this is bad, man. His gates are going to be unpowered. There's going to be creep in the natural forever. YoungYakov with a hatchery in the natural of MaNa. A hatchery at the gold is honestly making this work. Now there is a shield battery in the main. There goes energy recharge, so Pulsar Beam can stay active for a while. Oracle into Void Ray. The problem with Void Rays is just that they're so freaking slow. So even if you have a Void and you're theoretically safe, it doesn't kill this one either. But even when you're technically safe, it's so freaking annoying to chase after Zerglings. But for now the Zerglings are out, so I guess that part is good for MaNa. I hope that MaNa knows that this is not a real base. And obviously he's gonna find out real soon. But I almost feel like it would have been better to take this one, or even this one for all I care. Because like, what are you gonna do with 4 minerals? This is not great. You can put 8 workers on this base and then it's fully saturated. It's half a base. Spore Crawler is done here. He's even gonna get the second spore, the anti Void Ray Phoenix spore. I think YoungYakov is kind of cooking, though. It is that 3.6, mate, straight out of that HBO series, but I do think just like in that moment, it was actually kind of terrible. Because the 3.6 was not totally accurate. MaNa is going to lose his Oracle here if he doesn't move it away immediately. That's an Omega close call. Wow, he is believing in the Void Ray. Don't bring the Oracle back. The Queen is going to kill the Oracle. He's going to kill the Void Ray too. The power of the ladies, baby. Okay, we've got one more Oracle coming in. The Queen kills that one too. Oh, okay. That won't happen, but that would have been cool, though. Queen shows up, golden gun, bam, bam. Oh my god, we lose this Oracle as well, though, against the Spore. MaNa, what are we doing? Ay, caramba. That's not very good, guys. That is not very good. We just lost 2 Spores and a Void Ray. I know, desperate times call for desperate. He does have a lot of adepts. Resonating Glaive is about to finish up. YoungYakov, his Roach Warren is not quite done yet. 11 adepts. Hey, we can actually cook. We can actually cook here on the side of MaNa. Yakov is going to be in trouble because he's got Spore Crawlers for days. But now he needs to worry about adepts. And he only 2 Queens and 14 Lings don't stand a chance against 13 adepts with Resonating Glaive. Roach Warren still not done. First Queen falls. A couple of extra Lings will hatch. Oh, Yakov, mate. So many things went right in this game. But we were not ready for the quick Resonating Glaive follow-up. MaNa just freaking sending it with those Stargate units. We were wondering what is he doing. Well, it was 242 IQ gaming coming out of the Protoss. Full focus on the air units and forgetting about the threat of the adepts. Now the roaches are starting to come out slowly. Very slowly. Roaches are good, by the way, but 2 roaches will not win the fight against all these adepts. 5 more roaches on the way. 1 more roach pops. 2 more roaches come up from the natural. What do we got over here? It's not a great fight for the roaches either. I think Yakov will live, but it's gonna be one of those he lives but at what cost moments, where he's basically down to like 18 drones, and then he's dead. He might just live. He might not live. One more roach will fall. He's running out of money as well. Yeah, he's just dead. I think Yakov is just kind of dead as MaNa has more adepts streaming from the top left to the bottom right. Well. We were wondering what he was doing with those oracles and those void rays, and sure, it was a little bit reckless, but he made certain that all the focus and all the worry was about the Stargate units, and suddenly he shows up with a bunch of adepts and 13 adepts with glaives. That's very difficult to deal with if your Roach Warren is 30-40% done. Yeah, I think Yakov could have almost played the exact same game, but then not with the gold. And I think his life would have been a whole lot easier. I don't think there is really any need to take that gold. That gold is not one of these gold bases ultra easy to defend either. Because sure, it's close in a way by air to your main, but ground units have to take the long way around. Aren't you just on the drone? Yeah, but obviously if the Protoss has only Stargate tech and you cause that to delay and you force him to take a base that's not even really a base, having a bad drone count is not that bad as long as you know what's happening. I think it would have been fine to just take the natural, or even take the base at 3 o'clock above your natural, and then you can take the natural later if it would be blocked. Anyway, fun game, different kind of Starcraft. That's what people want to see as well. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys liked it too. Game 4.
Round 4. Fight!
Bottom left side of El Dorado once more sending out one of the drones. It's the Russian Zerg. He's down 1-2. Can he give us what we are all looking for on Friday nights? And that is Game 5. This is YoungYakov. Bottom right side of El Dorado, we are looking at the main base of the Polish Protoss. He is the veteran. He is the man. That's not just a player. He is the manager too, who whispers wise words into the ears of his world champ Clem, Liquid MaNa. Is this map decent for Mutas or really bad? I think a lot of Zergs will tell you that Mutas are always bad against Protoss. I don't agree with that, but the problem is that almost all Protoss builds open up with a Stargate now, right? Obviously once in a while it's without a Stargate, but even if it's without a Stargate, they'll still have a lot of Blink Stalkers with upgrades. It's hard to make Mutas work against Protoss. MaNa goes double gate once more. Apparently not a believer in pulling workers. I think various Protoss players at high level have a completely different way of dealing with this stuff. My favorite way is building a forge and a cannon, but that's proper Diamond League. But you know, sometimes you just have to embrace your Diamond League Protoss. And my strategy is one that basically my motto is Goody's motto from way in the back. I start defending in a proper pleb way, and then I have a pleb follow-up, and I make the game so weird that I try to drag my opponents down to my level, and then I beat them with experience, because I have played at that low level for a very long time. MaNa's level is a bit higher, and he apparently is not a believer in those very wise words. So he's just gonna go with the same thing as he did in the previous game. Double Zealot into double Adept. YoungYakov is forced to take a different base because it was blocked by the probe, and maybe that's why he also took the gold last game, right? Well, he kills one of the larvae with the Adept. The other one morphs. And obviously, as a Zerg, you have so many different ways of playing this out as well. Like, yeah, you can go ham on the links, you can try to really get a queen, or you can just kind of let this hatchery finish. Do your own thing at home. Now know that the Protoss has made 5 gateway units before expanding. And now you can say, like, well, if we don't take damage from the Oracle, we don't take damage from the Adepts, we're gonna be fine. Of course, the Zealots will probably make it to the other side of the map as well, but we need a Spore in the main. I think a Spore in the main is absolutely mandatory. And then I think with just Queens and Links, we should be fine. defending a third. The natural can take a lot of damage. You don't have to worry about it. There are no drones to protect in the natural anyway. So if these units want to attack the natural, if I was Yakov, I'd say be my guest. And I wouldn't fight it until my hatchery is literally down to like 300 HP. Like, this is fine, I think, for Yakov. Let him work on it. Who cares? He's actually going to jump on his army immediately. The circling count is kind of high. Not the biggest fan of that one, but... This is not invading my privacy. I do not live alone. I live with Vicky. Vicky is the engine and the brains behind this operation. I can't do anything without Vicky. I can't wash. I can't eat. I can't turn on my computer. But tonight I'm alone. Vicky is babysitting Jax. So tonight we're alone. I do not live alone. Oracle flies into the main base. A Spork Roller and Queen. MaNa goes with a recall. Oracle takes a lot of damage. Doesn't fall, but... So MaNa has a 10 worker lead. But overall has a bit of a clumsy army right now. I think we can all agree on that, right? Basic Zealots without speed. Adepts without slaves. Low HP Oracle into Void Ray. I don't hate it for YoungYakov. Okay, I don't know. We shouldn't throw away too many of these Zerglings here. Yeah, if I was YoungYakov, I'd be perfectly happy with this. El Dorado is a really good map to play the Protoss style that I think is currently making a couple of the Zergs mauled a bit on Reddit. Skytoss is back, and we're not talking about carriers, but we're mostly talking about Tempest, Mothership, cannons, and batteries. And I don't play Zerg, but I do really understand frustrations playing against that stuff. I already mauled when I play against mech in PvP, and then everybody's in Twitch are telling me how easy it is to beat mech, and I can't beat mech for the life of me. I do understand that as a Zerg it may not be very fun to play against Storm Cannon, Battery, Tempest. But MaNa has made another move out. I have labeled his army as clumsy. MaNa took that personal, and he's going to try to get value out of it. Well, I stand by my words. I think it's a clumsy army that shouldn't get a lot done. Somehow the slow Zealots are really putting in some work. That was not on my bingo list for tonight. The 2 slow Zealot counter after they got recalled out of the main earlier. It's another worker. He's building another Void? What? So we lost the Void and now we're building another Void? It's a strange series, guys. Strange game. Strange series overall, but yeah, I stand by it. I really like this for YoungYakov. Even if the worker count is even, his Zerglings do manage to kill an Adept. He wants to get the second one as well, and he gets that one too. Oracle activates Pulsar Beam in the top left. There's a lot of energy on this Oracle, but I think the ladies will save the hatch. We're 7 minutes in. There is no lair tech. You say MaNa has legit no tech, but what about YoungYakov, mate? YoungYakov has a Zergling speed. That's it. We're 7 minutes in. We've got Zergling speed, no lair. Yeah, that's why these hatch block games often just get very weird. MaNa does have charge and +1 on the way, but it's going to take a little while. A few more slow adepts get surrounded as the Zergling count gets higher. Void Ray number 2 has made it to the other side of the map. Hello, Fionty boy. Yeah, I think with every second that goes by, I like it more and more for the Russian Zerg. The man who's down 1-2. Can he give us our first game 5 of the night? You think Corrupt the Ultra is underrated in PvZ now with the Immortal nerf? Be nice to Legoland, Rainer. Legoland is a viewer that we actually appreciate. I know there's a couple people out here that just show up, they want to balance wine and stir up some shit and see if they can make me mad. You can make fun of them, but Legoland is a good guy. He may have a questionable take or two, but he's a good guy. So be nice to him. We've got Storm on the way. MaNa going for Zealot Storm. Now if we get a couple Archons too, it may not be that bad, but kind of seems like we're just going to lose to Mass Roaches. Weird thing to say, Milo. I like how we got Milo ask me, he's like, hey Roddy, can I play in the Big Brain Bouts? Hey Roddy, can I play in the Big Brain Bouts? And then it's Friday night, we're watching some games, Naniwa says something, he's like, hey Naniwa, you here? I thought you were dead. It's like, it's kind of weird, mate. Like, my bosses are here, they're watching, like, the last thing that they want to see right now is Milo next week in the Big Brain Bouts. Like, I'm not asking for a lot. Just not be that weird. God. You guys are not even making it hard on me. You're making it hard on yourself. Yeah, my Twitch chat is not that weird. Obviously, sometimes. I mean, sometimes I get weird too. That's fine. But there's always that level of weirdness that we're okay with. Joke here, joke there, some banter, cheeky balance comment. It's all good, but like, hey, Nani, I thought you were dead. Like, that's just kind of that's not funny. It's not on the line. It's not like, that's my sense of humor. It's a bit off. Maybe Milo and Nani are tight. I don't believe that. Triple Void Ray into one Phoenix. I think the one Phoenix, mate, is more for like Overseer Patrol, because obviously throughout the series there's been a lot of Nidus networks throughout in the main base as well, and I think MaNa is putting that Phoenix on patrol to make sure that he doesn't miss Overlord Overseer sneaking in trying to drop a Nidus. Why doesn't MaNa believe in the Voids here? That's a really good question. We did have Shutdown a while ago, finding some success with like Archon, Storm, Void Ray. We casted a couple of insane games on the Monday night at the Golden Aura and whatnot, so. Any word on Katowice for SC2? Only you know, Roddy? No, I know nothing. With every day that goes by, mate, I think it's more and more and more likely that there will not be Starcraft at Katowice. I'd be very surprised at this point if there is, but I'll also be very sad if there isn't. I've been going to Katowice for like 10 years in a row. It's like just a part of my year, right? I always look forward to it. I like the city. I've seen the city blossom over the last decade. It was very rough when we went first, and these days it's honestly kind of nice and cozy. So I really like going. I know nothing and I'm not really expecting to go, but I hope that I'm wrong, mate. Triple Void Ray. We were wondering, what does MaNa try to accomplish with the Triple Void? Well, apparently we get a casual snipe on a hatch. Save your law here to watch Rainer. I've got good news for you, mate. He's a whole lot better in this game than he is in League of Legends. In this game, he actually like stays alive and the game has color. I know that we're trying to make some good progress in that other game, but our boy is a slow learner in League. But in Starcraft 2, he's kind of cooking. Roaches, Hydras, and Lurkers of YoungYakov get a cancel on the Gold Nexus of MaNa. MaNa still enjoying a 2-1 lead. Drops some force drills, drops some big storms. Another fat storm in the middle of all these Lurkers. I mean, I want to say MaNa didn't have a whole lot, but he's doing pretty good. But now he's still losing a lot of units. I mean, Lurkers just slap. Big fan of the Lurkers. Roaches are AFK. To be fair, I don't think there's a whole lot that the Roaches can do here. We had that Phoenix patrolling for that Overseer, and we do have another Nidus coming up in the main base. Before I asked MaNa to play this series, MaNa did share with me that he plays a lot of games with YoungYakov on the ladder, and they have a lot of history. So I think that he knows that YoungYakov is a big Nidus enjoyer, and that's maybe why he indeed has the Phoenix here on patrol. There is a lot more to these two playing against each other tonight than just these games that we are watching. But I think YoungYakov is very close to getting the job done. MaNa still has 5 High Templars though. He's got a lot of Immortals. It's a nice mix between Hydras, between Lynx, between Lurkers. He's got a big Zealot Warp in on the right side. Pylon gets sniped. Oracle gets sniped. Phoenix gets sniped. There's one more Phoenix remaining. However, the Mothership is here. Hydra launch. Look at that. They're dashing. 10 workers falling. Honestly, MaNa's actually holding here. Sure, it's a painful hold. He lost a lot of tech units. He lost all but 3 of the High Templars, or 4 of the High Templars. He does hold. And it's not like YoungYakov is omega rich. Actually a pretty damn good hold by MaNa. Immortals are living up to their name. I'm joking, guys. I know that Raynor is good indeed. I just like to tease him. Just like he's teasing me about Deathlock. He makes it seem like I'm not good, but he knows deep down inside that he's watching a future GOAT develop. Raynor teases me, I tease him. I know he's pretty good indeed, guys. We've got Vipers in the mix. We've got a lot of Lurkers finishing up. Lynx, hold position in the mineral line, grabbing a few workers. Not much, but it's all his work. Raynor and Spirit are obviously allowed to play whatever race they want, but I'm expecting Zerg against Terran. That is why we made the matchup. But I will not stop Raynor from playing Protoss or Terran, and I will not stop Spirit from playing anything. That is up to the players. But I expect it to be ZVT. Mothership is legit good in this patch. Yep, that is definitely the word on the street. I love the Blinding Cloud though, I love the Abducts as well, but the Zerg army is kind of melting. Storms and Immortals, even when they get all the spells casted upon, are still slapping. And that Mothership, yeah, it is problematic. It is scary, and MaNa is legitimately starting to cook. And a great hold against all the Lurkers and Hydras and Lings on his own side of the map. And we mentioned YoungYakov really does not have much of a bank. He does have Zerglings coming in. Zealots are coming in as well from the right side, trying to save. The War Prism Micro is big here. Saves a couple of these big units on the ground. One more storm. Oh, I love that storm behind the army, forcing the Hydras to go through it. At this point, there's no more storms though, and the Hydra count is about to get pretty high. The Mothership. So many attacks. Oh my goodness. Protoss is so back, eh? Protoss is so back. Poor YoungYakov. I mean, we can just evacuate drones here, exactly. We have top left side. Losing the center base is really problematic. But it doesn't have to be the end of the world if we can just take a good fight. But how are we going to take a good fight when we barely have an army? We land an abduct on the prism and we don't get it. Once more cloaking gets activated, motherships can no longer get abducted. And it seems like MaNa is going to try to ruin our plans of a game 5 over here. An odd game, a crazy game, but it's legit starting to look like it's going to go MaNa's way. He is down 7 workers, but he has got a bigger army, he's got a powerful army, he's got Storm still, Storm forever. Two Immortals and 2 Tempests on the way. The air upgrades are not great, so it's not like a few Tempests have to be the end of the world. But MaNa is just barely losing any units right now in any of these exchanges. It's kind of flying. It's going to be very difficult for YoungYakov to win a fight. I mean, he's down 50 freaking army supply. He does find a couple of the Zealots. He finally gets that War Prism. I don't think chasing this army is the play. MaNa's army is legit terrifying. It's a little bit of everything. It is straight out of a trailer for this game. Look at this diverse Protoss army. Zealots, Archons, Motherships, Tempests. A little bit of everything is good enough for the veteran. MaNa 3-1. YoungYakov is the score. Raynor is going to follow that well-played MaNa up with something snarky. I know it's coming. I can feel it. Well done. Fun final game. Obviously, throughout the series, a lot of hatch blocks. Just pretty funny interactions. I think Yakov will be maybe kicking himself a little bit for the game on Neon Violet Square, because that one really looked like it was going somewhere. But the Adapts with Glaive surprised us. Overall, just good stuff. Of course, MaNa could have also won the game that he lost if he didn't overstay his welcome on creep against all those locusts. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff overall. No, wait, that's I'm confusing 2 games right now. The game that MaNa lost, I don't think he could have won. He almost lost that game on ley lines, but he didn't. So. Should have. Be nice, Raynor. Why are you bullying Legoland? I like Legoland, mate. What is up with like my mods and my friends bullying some of my viewers? Legoland is a good guy. He means well. That was funny. Alright guys, we have one more best of 5 to go. Good series between these two. Wow, you guys were wrong for the first time tonight. Throughout the entire night, the predictions have been very close. You guys believed in the youngster, new blood YoungYakov, but it is MaNa, the veteran. He's every year. Merry Christmas to both of these video gamers. We love him. MaNa is going to have a couple of extra buckies he can spend. Fancy wine, vodka, pierogies, whatever his heart desires. Maybe a dog treat. He's got a great puppy. MaNa wins $100. YoungYakov will still get 25 for playing. And that will do this prediction. It means we get one final prediction. It is the main event of BBB number 79. It is the second Man, type it. This is why I suck at Starcraft, guys. You guys saw that? The amount of misclicks. 150-50, but that doesn't fit. So how am I going to make this fit? Let's go like this. MaNa. Bam. Rainer, Ita, Z, and Spirit. Polish T, or I just want to donate. So the third option, guys, there are people on this channel that have millions of points and really don't know what they do with them. I give you guys the third option, where if you don't want points, you just put it all on number 3. Number 3 will obviously never win. The correct outcome will be Rainer, the Italian Zerg, Protoss, or Terran, or it will be a Spirit, the Polish Terran, who's going to win. But if you guys just want to donate points to the cause, you can put them all on number 3. I'll give you guys 15 minutes to get your predictions going. We'll give Rainer and Spirit some time to get ready. Big shout out to Athena for showing up, gifting us 5 subbies for the final Friday before Christmas. Shout out to Athil as well for the 41 months. On the thanks for the 24, 2 years. Let's go. Thank you for the content. And Basilisk with 10 additional gifted subs. Points laundering, yes. This is proper point donating. There are people that have 4 or 5 million points. They don't know what to do with them. Now they can just make a 250,000 point bet on the third option, and it will give everybody else that is trying to predict correctly a little more to win. I think for the final prediction of the day, that's a fun thing to do. Hello, Dolan. Hello, NOFX. What's up? These names keep getting harder and harder, guys. I'll take a couple minutes, get myself a little whiskey. Final Friday. Obviously, the working days are done. I think school is done. University is done. We can all chill. We've got a very fun weekend ahead of us. It is not just the Big Brain Bouts tonight. Of course, tomorrow morning, guys, Masters Coliseum will continue. It is 1 p.m. Central European time, so 7 a.m. on the East Coast, 4 a.m. on the West Coast. And tomorrow we've got Max Pack Skillless, Max Pack Rainer, Skillless Rogue. All of these games will be live. I'll watch it. I'm sure Waddy will cover it. Lambo will cover it. Well, I don't know if Lambo... Yeah, I think Lambo will cover it. Rainer, Rogue. And we'll be live streamers. I'm very excited for that. That happens on Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be sick. You can also burn channel points. Thank you, VP Guy. How to donate points. You predict for the third option, if you can do that. Is there a BBB next Friday? There is. But it is not set in stone yet because I am trying to do something a tiny bit different. I had a really fun idea, but my fun idea got shut down. I will not throw anybody under the bus, but unfortunately I can't make my fun idea work. I had a 2-day event in mind, but I think for next Friday we can still maybe do like an open cup instead of regular BBB, and then maybe have like a deeper payout distribution than just top 4. Like we try something special. Anyway, tiny break, guys, and then a main event. Rainer versus Spirit is coming up next.